Hello again, GLL back for another video. Okay, let's get the conspiracy theories out of the way first. I am not buying Halo 5. Right? My brother's getting it, Rock 3D. My cousin, Deadly Jam, is getting it. And my other brother, Crimson Crunch, is getting it. Right? So that's 3 people I can borrow the game off to play it for free. Just to see how bad it is. So all these conspiracy theories about me buying the game for some reason are completely pointless, because why would I buy the game when I can borrow it off one of my brothers or my cousin? Completely pointless. So all the people saying that shit are just fucking crazy. Okay, this fucking idea that I'm going to rush out and buy this game is just ludicrous. You know, are you going to fucking keep peddling that shit? I mean, you must be smoking something. That's a crazy, crazy statement. Crazy. You know, my brother borrowed Destiny off me. He borrowed Rise off me already. He's got Shadow of Mordor I was going to possibly borrow off him as well. You know, does that mean I'm going to buy Shadow of Mordor when I borrow his game? No. You're just crazy people. Crazy, crazy people on the YouTube. Conspiracy theorists. Okay, take a look at the accounts. Take a look at my brother's account, Rock Space 3D, Xbox. Take a look at it. You will see that it is not a fucking second account. That is someone's actual account. Quite clearly. You'll see him all the time. He was on FIFA tonight. He's always on Metal Gear Solid. I haven't got Metal Gear Solid on my fucking card. He plays that shit all the time. He's nearly finished it. You know, I'm busy on Gears of War. I've just got The Witcher. I'm not playing Metal Gear Solid on another account at the same time. So, there you go. Fucking crazy motherfuckers. Let's get into the fucking situation with Halo 5. Okay, so I'm not buying it, which everybody would probably, with any common sense, would have already guessed that, being as I've done like a million videos on why it sucks ass. So I will be playing the game at some point. Now, when that will be, I do not know, because it depends on where my brother lets me borrow it. So I'm in no rush to play the game. You know, half the features are missing at launch anyway, so I don't give a shit. Whenever I get to play it, great. So it's free, so I will play it. Obviously I am a big Halo fan, always have been, and I would like to play the campaign just to see what it's like. Now, Sergeant Locke, couldn't give a foot less about him. Halo Nightfall was terrible, so to me that's possibly half the game down the drain if he is such a bad character. He might be prove me wrong, which I'm hoping he does, proves me wrong and he's actually a cool character and whatnot, and his team aren't complete fucking useless, you know, I'm hoping there's some value there. I'm hoping there's some he adds something to the story, something different, but you know, it's just more hope than anything, because I've watched Nightfall and Nightfall was terrible. So to me, on the other side of things, Master Chief with Blue Team, that could be really interesting, but it depends how they go about it. So realistically, I've always said that the campaign might be good. You know, they've ruined the gameplay to some extent. I mean, they've forced in all this like shit from other games that shouldn't be in there, but the story should still keep you entertained if they've done a decent job of it. So I'm not going to go into details on this video as to all the things that are wrong with Halo 5, because I've covered that multiple times, and there's no point getting into another argument over fucking whether the game's ripping off Call of Duty and shit. Because, you've already made your minds up by now if you're watching this video. And if you haven't, go and check out my other content where I go into detail about what I think about that. So all I'm going to say here is, in my opinion, the game, you should not buy this game. I don't even want my brother to buy it. I don't want my cousin to buy it. I would happily wait for it to go into the bargain bin. As it stands, a couple of people I know are buying the game, so obviously I can play it for free, so I don't even have to buy a second-hand copy. So that's good news in a way. Get to play it sooner. Won't have to put any money down for it, so that's good. But on the other hand, 343 are getting some money from somewhere, which is unfortunate. So all I'm going to say is, don't buy this game. Don't buy it. I'm not buying it. Don't believe the conspiracy theories. I am not purchasing this game. Okay, people I know, my brother Rock3D, my brother Crimson Crunch, my cousin Deadly Jam, they're getting the game. So I have, 3 options there of borrowing the game. My brother literally lives up the road from me, so I can just walk to my mum's house and borrow it from him and come back to my house. So there's no conspiracy there. I'm not buying the game. And I've been through all the reasons why I'm not buying the game. But even if you're a fan of the new gameplay and you like the idea of the new Halo and you like the idea of everything, why would you buy a game that's basically not finished? We've seen it with the Master Chief Collection, how they said it was all running smooth, on track and everything, and then it just fucking was absolutely horrendous. This game, Forge mode's been delayed, BTB's been delayed, they've had to cut features left and right, no split screen, this, that and the other. Every single day we get a new fucking announcement about something that's been fucking either cut or delayed. Okay, that's all it's been since the beta. It's just been, we're cutting this, we're delaying this, we're cutting this, we're delaying this. That's all I've heard. I haven't heard any good news. We haven't, you're just waiting for the next bit of bad news. Basically, it's like, and then all the fanboys come out and go, oh, how can we damage control this now? And that's all it is. There's never any good news. They didn't come out and say, oh yeah, Halo's going to have custom game searches or something cool. They haven't even come out and said anything about theatre mode other than it's in the game. So what does that mean? Is it dumbed down? Or is it better than it was? No information on that whatsoever. There's no bomb assault in the game, from what we can tell. No information on that. They were just surmising. They're just like, oh, we cut out a Halo 4, so therefore it's not going to be in Halo 5. Basically, if you look at those new playlists that are coming out when the game ships, it's just Slayer, 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 and Slayer. And that's all 343 know how to do. They can't do objective playlists and shit because they've got no objective game modes, realistically. And people are going to be like, oh, Warzone. Fuck Warzone. I'm talking about actual objectives. Capture the flag and stuff. And bomb assaults. They can't do capture the flag right. They put a big icon on the flag carrier's head. The flag carrier's carrying a fucking pistol. Load of bollocks. Load of fucking bollocks. No bomb assault. Bomb assault was great. Oddball, is that in the game? Who the fuck knows? Who fucking knows? It's bullshit. So, there you go. The game is a huge letdown for serious Halo fans. You want to come in here and start saying, oh, Halo's fucking not dead and all this. Halo is fucking gone, man. It's dead. All you've got is an average campaign to look forward to, and then when that's done, game's gonna fucking just die off. No one will be playing it because it's horrendous. It's not a Halo game. If the campaign's anything like Halo 4, we're gonna get a fairly decent story for some people. Some people might not like the direction, but I thought the story in Halo 4 was interesting. But That's my opinion. But the replay value of the actual levels and the gameplay was lackluster. Some of it was cool. It was all pretty cool the first time through, but on subsequent playthroughs it just doesn't have that cutting edge. It's just not as appealing as some of the other Halo games. Like Halo 1 and 2 particularly were really good. Halo 3, the second half of Halo 3 is really good. There was nothing that got to that level of quality in Halo 4, in my opinion. So that the replay value is just not there for me. So if Halo 5 is anything like that, it's just literally you play it and you never play it again. I wouldn't recommend anyone buy Halo 5 because they're selling you half a game. They really are selling you half a game. They've cut that much content out that it would be ridiculous to buy the game now, because they are selling you half of it. They're cutting stuff off Halo 5. There's no way around it. Maybe it's not half the game, maybe it's a percentage of the game. You're not buying the full game. So when I say you're buying half the game, it might not be half the game, it might not be 3/4 of the game you're buying, or whatever, if you want to nitpick and say that. But what the point is, you're not buying the full experience. You're not buying everything entails with the game. They're trying to give you little bits later because they haven't met their deadline or whatever, or this is planned or it's bullshit, whatever, and they're going to give you bits and bits of the game down the line, like BTB, like Forge, and these extra levels. Now you could say this is all planned as free DLC and everything's hunky-dory, but realistically, when Forge mode doesn't launch with the game, it's a fuck up. Okay, so you're buying half a game at launch, or an incomplete game at launch. That's what you're doing. So by doing that, you're sending a message to 343 and other developers that if we release half a game or an unfinished product, people will still buy it. And because of that, it will set a trend. It will set a trend that's already been started with Destiny, with Battlefront, with Rainbow Six, where they're literally selling you half a game, or very nearly half a game, because you're buying the game up front. You've got season passes and whatever that give you that content later. Halo's giving you that content for free later, but still, the point is, when you throw your money down on day one, you're not getting the full experience. You're not getting what you paid for until later down the line. And that's what they want. They want you to buy it up front, where then they haven't even got anything ready. Because then you can't complain about it later on if it sucks. You can't do anything about it later on. So the people that get the game early on and then happily wait for the content, when that content comes out, if they have a problem with that content, it's too fucking late by then. They've already bought the game. They've already been waiting for it. And now, but this is going to shoot them in the foot because, on the other hand, casual fans don't know about any of this stuff. The stuff we see on a day-to-day basis, the updates, all this stuff about no split screen, no BTB, no Forge. The average Joe on the street doesn't know about this stuff. So when he goes into the shop and says, okay, I want to pre-order Halo 5, when he gets that game and he takes it home, he doesn't go, oh, I know this stuff's not in and I'm okay with it. He doesn't know. Okay, so he sits down with the game with his girlfriend or with his best buddy from work or whatever, and they fire up this game and they've downloaded it. They're probably noobs to gaming possibly, or maybe they're just really good at gaming. It doesn't really matter. The point is, they put this game in the tray, they wait for it to install. Okay, now there's probably going to be a patch update, so they're going to have to download that. So they're going to have to download that, they're going to have to wait for that. So all the time, they're probably sat down, they're probably talking about old Halo games, and how they're so good and everything. They haven't been on the forums. They don't know what's going on. Okay, they don't know that half this stuff is in the game. So when they finally download the game and they've got it installed, they go to play on it. Only problem is, there's no split screen. So straight away, they've got a bad taste in their mouths, because now they can't play the games together. You see what I'm saying? You might say, well, who the fuck is not going to go on the forums? A lot of people don't use the fucking forums. Okay, there's 8 million Halo fans out there, or 8 million games sold. Okay, in the past. 8 million. Okay. Do 8 million people use the forums? Do 8 million people know what's going on? Not necessarily. I don't know the numbers. They know the numbers. Okay, I don't have those numbers. But what I can tell you is there's going to be people that do this. There's going to be people that buy the game, sit down, put it in the fucking Xbox, download it, update it, get everything running, and then realise they can't even play the fucker with the guy that's stood next to them. So they're going to get pissed off. Okay, so they go, okay, no problem. Guy goes out, buys his own copy, buys his own Xbox, which maybe that's what they want him to do. Maybe that's what they want us to do, all buy our own Xboxes. Maybe they want more Xboxes sold. Maybe it's a conspiracy. Who knows? But who cares? He goes out, he buys another Xbox, he buys another copy of the game. So then they play the campaign. And then they realise the controls are fucked up. So they look through the controls and they change them to fucking Halo controls. But they're already annoyed with the game, so now they're annoyed because the controls have changed. And they're annoyed because when you pull the trigger, your aimer is completely different. And they're like, what's going on here? This isn't the Halo I remember. This isn't the game that I bought. This is terrible. Now maybe that doesn't bother them. But again, this is a scenario. Okay, some people will be bothered and some people won't. So let's say they get over that. So they're moving on. They play something else. So they're playing the campaign together. And they're enjoying it. They don't know what the fuck's going on. They don't know who Silent Locke is because they won't have watched Halo Nightfall. So even the tiny little bit of backstory that I know about, they won't have a clue about. So they're playing the game. They're like, who the fuck is this? Where's the Master Chief? I'm guessing Locke starts off the game. And then might start to enjoy the game, might be getting into it. So they go through it. They get into the game. They enjoy it. They complete the campaign. Still sour grapes, still a bit of uncertainty because of the introduction to the game and how it was all, retarded. They had to go and buy another Xbox and everything. So they're already pissed off. So then they go, oh, you know what? I fancy playing some Forge and building some levels now. Can't do it. It's not in the game. He's not going to know it's coming soon. It might say in the fucking menu somewhere that it's coming soon. But even then, he's still going to be pissed off because it says coming soon and he can't use that feature. So then he's like, fuck it, we'll go play some Big Team Battle. But then he can't do that because that's not in the game either. Okay, so he can play Warzone. But then he plays Warzone and realises it's not what he was thinking. It's like Titanfall. Or maybe his opinion it's like Titanfall, and maybe it's not your opinion it's like Titanfall, but this guy plays it and he thinks it's like Titanfall. So then what? You can't play Big Team Battle. You can't play Forge. They've already shafted him with the split screen, so now he can't play with his girlfriend or any of his friends in his house. Okay? His friends debating on the same issues. They're not really happy with the experience. They don't like the new control setup. They don't like the fact that a lot of features have been removed. What do? They sell the game and they move the fuck on. Because this is what people do now. A lot of people will move on before that DLC for Big Team Battle and the Forge even gets released. Because that is the truth. Because people don't have the patience to wait for it. Now you might say, well, you're complaining about it, so clearly you don't have the patience to wait for it. Okay. My point is this. If you go and buy a game, you buy a complete game. You don't buy half a game. So that's why I would not purchase the game. Right? But if I didn't know about any of this shit, and I did purchase the game, I would be pissed off. Because the only way I would find out about this stuff is by playing the game. Luckily, we have the internet and we know these changes are happening and we know all this stuff. But some people don't go on the forums, they don't go on Twitter, they don't go on all this stuff. So they don't know anything about it, okay? They go to work, they have children and whatever. They don't use the internet very often, They just go on the phone and they just watch like pictures of fucking cats and shit. I don't know what people do. I'm not like that. I don't go on Facebook and fuck around and then, I'm just saying. Okay, so they just use the internet casually and they don't go into this depth in Halo and find all this information out. So they're going to find out first hand on the day. They're going to spend that money first, then find out this content's not in the game, that this game has these fucking issues that they are not happy with. Not you. People on the other screen are saying, how do you know they're going to be unhappy and all this? I can hear you already. Listen, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about this hypothetical situation, okay? Which is going to happen across the fucking world when people open this game and play it. Because you don't fucking own these people. Okay, this is going to happen. People are going to find this shit out. And when they do, yes, 343's already got the money. Yay for them. But they're going to just lose more fans. People are going to get pissed off with it. And the population will not be there. Okay, this is not going to be a success for them in the long run, in my opinion. So you're going to have the people like me that don't buy it. You have the people that aren't like me that buy it. And then a percentage of them are going to be unhappy with the game. A good percentage of the game. So you've already pissed off a lot of people that know about all these changes. Then you're going to have the people that don't know about them that buy it and find out firsthand are going to be the really pissed off people. Because a lot of people, like I say, don't go on the internet and stuff. Well, they go on the internet, they don't go on the Halo websites. They don't know about this stuff. So a lot of people are going to just fire up the game, shit, no split screen. That's what's going to happen. It's a fact. So I'm rambling on now, but the point being is, if you keep continuing to support this crap, if you keep continuing to support games that aren't even finished, then you will get games that aren't even finished because you're supporting games that aren't finished. If you only support games that are finished, then we will only get games that are finished. If you keep supporting games that are unfinished, then we will get games that are unfinished. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. So, anyway, feel free to subscribe, and I will see you after launch.